Alright, before I put the video on that in-depth test on this Fisher F75 SE LTD, I want to point out Fisher had contacted me and wanted to send me a detector to try up there, and namely the F75. I do feel you guys need to know that this was sent to me to try out. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is the gentleman that had sent it to me, Russ, thank you very much for sending me this. I'm always looking for something free as anyone else. I did explain that when this thing hits that test bed, it's basically game on. I'm not going to sit there and try to make this better than what it actually is, and they were very fine with that. His exact words were, I feel we make a very good product, and whatever the outcome is the outcome, and put it on. So I got to have a little bit of faith for them to say that, because there is no skewing when you're going to what you're about to see. I will spend the time up there with this thing. Some Garrett Ace 150, you go up there, there's only so much you can do with the thing, all right, to learn it. So it doesn't take near as long. This one is taking me some time. And I probably got 6 hours into that test bed straight, learning all the settings. So I feel comfortable that what you're going to see is about as good as you're going to get in my test bed. I'm just letting you know this is not a fudged in anywhere form. We got to get started on a kind of a long video. Hey, how's it going? Now that the sun's down and there isn't quite so many bugs up here, been real curious to get this in the test bed, see what it'll end up doing compared to my other detectors that I've run through. This will give a person a good indication if this thing can outperform other detectors. I suppose I should tell you what I'm running for settings. Sensitivity, I'm cranked up to 99. Disc level, I'm not blocking anything out, no notch. And I'm running a 2L tone. I don't remember what they call that, but they have numerous tones on here. It's just unreal. The 2L basically gives you two tones, a high and a low, and it will start tapering off, getting quieter, and it does drop down a little the deeper the target is. And I seem to like that quite a bit. And then the process, I'm running a boost process. I might run up to what the hell was CL called? It's just basically real deep mode, but boost process is the same as the standard DE mode, but it's just a slower sweep speed, and I've found that really works good. I've got it all ground balanced. First up is a quarter at 4 inches. Not spending no time on it, works great. Quarter at 7 inches, same thing. Now a quarter at 10 inches. I dig it, definitely dig it. A dime at 4, ain't spending no time, it hits it good. A dime at 8 inches. Turn to the side. It's hitting it. We'll give her 2 for that. Now a nickel at 6 inches. Coming up at 29, 26. Really like that. Telling you, I don't know what's going on, but detectors I've been getting lately struggling on this. A nickel at 8. It's there, but there's one. Now if I turn this way, speed her up a little. I'm going to give it 1 point for that, but trust me, I went through every setting I could possibly think of to try to hit that thing good. And for some reason, it just ain't coming up. I don't know really don't know. I might end up getting my Nokta force core or something else up here and see if that's changed, but I don't think it has. Now, we got a copper penny at 2 inches, Watch that VDI. Looking at a 74, 73 in there. Now there's a zinc penny. Really like that. You're looking at a between 11 and 12, maybe 13 points higher on that VDI scale. You can really separate that thing out. Now a silver ring at 6. Hitting it pretty good. Now a Morgan dollar at a full 11 inches. It's pulling that Morgan in. Ringing up pretty high too, in the 70s. High 70s. Now, brass candle holder 15 inches deep. I'd say that's hitting it one way. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going up to the deep mode. Oh, come on, baby. I'm giving it 1 point for that. It's coming up at 83. That's pretty good. Let's get back down to boost mode. Now we got a bottle cap at 4 inches. Talking 13, 8, 9. There's a 22. Pretty good. Now I might be switching some settings here. This is a dime with 4 rusty nails around it at 4 inches deep. That's pretty damn good. There's a 64, 66. Notice how I'm barely moving it. 77, 82, 79. I just can't believe how it just pulls that dime out of there at an angle. But I can only give it 1 because it ain't doing it this way. So it's a good indication. Always check your targets both way. If you get one that you possibly even think it's not a good target, go to the side. It's possibly being masked by something. All right, moving on. A quarter, 3 inches deep with a giant nail beside it. '91, '87, '86, '87, '85. Hit it. This one here I haven't had a detector do yet. From the side. It's trying. Now for the heck of it, just so somebody knows, I'm going to go to, say, fast mode. It's almost doing it, but it's not the same. Back to boost. See how it's almost pulling it out, but I can't get over iron level. 2 pull tabs, 3 inches deep. No problem. This here's can slaw. And it's coming up like can slaw. Pretty nice. Now a quarter on end, 4 inches deep. 80. You dig that right away. Now a dime, 4 inches deep with 2 rusty nails on it. Look at that. Making it ring up pretty high, but it's still, tell me you wouldn't dig that. Go this way. Same thing. All right, now here I'm going to leave it in boost mode for the process in 2 tones. This here's 3 coins, a penny, a nickel, and a dime, 4 inches deep, 2 inches apart. but even boost mode you got it. But now watch this. Let's go to fast mode, and I'm going to change the tone to 4 tones. That's about as fast as I can swing. I've only seen one other detector like that, and that's the Nokta Force Core. This is holding its own. Look at that. Pretty nice. Let's switch back. A penny and a dime with 7 rusty nails around it. We're looking for a higher, geez, that was already there. Bringing up a little low, but you can tell there's iron mixed with it. You'd be digging it. There's a 65, 63. Dig that, no problem. Now for the big one. A quarter, a full 12 inches deep, in not the greatest soil. We're going to try it in boost mode. There it was. Let's go this way. There it is. I scored that a 1. I'm going to go to the deep mode. There it is. 93, 99. Go this way. 95. 82, 80. Okay, now you can argue with me, but I gave that one a 2. I have not had a detector with a stock coil other than Tejon and the Vaquero able to hit this. And the Vaquero, I had the negative ground balance, and I'm not negative ground balanced on this one, so I think that's pretty cool. Let's go back to boost mode. Okay, now here we have a 22 bullet, 4 inches deep, real small piece of lead. It hits it. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. Now a dime, 4 inches deep, with 5 nails 2 inches above it. Look at that. You know there's iron in there with it. You're gonna dig it. I think my new paint marks are a little bit off too. It's trying. One thing I'm going to tell you guys, the limited time I've messed with this Fisher F75 is in boost mode. If you really slow down once you find a target, it's unreal. It's better than fast mode, especially in the deeper ones. All right, now we're going to try it. This is a dime 11 inches deep, boost mode. Look at that. It's hitting it that way. But this way. The soil ain't that good. There was one. Now, I'm going into deep mode. I'm like 4 inches above it. That was an 89. There it was again. I gotta only give it 1. Pretty impressive though. I heard this thing was deep, and it really is. Like I said, you get some ideal soils, you might have to add a couple inches to the depth. Now this one here, I'm not even gonna try it in this these modes. We're gonna go to, say, fast mode. This here is a quarter, 3 inches deep, with a ton of hot rocks, which you can actually see sitting right over there. and charcoal, you name it, salt. Might have to put some more salt in eventually, but there's the quarter. You go here, these numbers are lower, but it's real choppy. You get to the quarter, hitting it like crazy. Now, just for the heck of it, this ain't part of the test. This was a test, a 2-box detector. I think it's almost 3 foot down, about 20 some pounds of copper pennies in a jug. Hits it pretty good. That deep mode, you seem to do better if your coil's off the ground a little bit. All right, now let's head down to the deck and do some air tests. All right, I'm gonna run this in the same boost mode. I might have to turn the settings down a little. It's chattering a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn it down. I had it on 99. We want it, we'll put it at, I don't care, 86 number. I'm going to start doing this differently than what I've done before. This here is 1 grain of gold, 24 karat gold, 1 grain's worth, very small. I'm going to be putting it in this bag, so when you got the sensitivity cranked and all metal in that, I'm not waving my hand in front of it. Pretty good. It comes up at about a 23 from what I had seen. I passed that test with flying colors. Now, I got 3 pieces of copper here, a big one, a medium one, and a small one. And I'm going to start out with the real small one to save time. It hits it. 2 points for that guy. Now, a rough one. This here is that a stony meteorite, 0.46 grams, fell in Wisconsin in 2008, I believe. Putting her in the bag. This is in discrimination mode. I'd only given it 1 point for that because this hit only in all metal. But before I switch to all metal, we got to try out iron meteorite, which still has very little iron in it. That frickin' doing it. So, let's go to all metal. Alright, I'm in all metal. Let's go back to that iron meteorite. That's pretty damn good. Now a stony meteorite. It hits it. Hits it in all metal. Alright, so there you are. Fisher F75 SE LTD. You've seen it struggled with the 8-inch quarter, or the 8-inch nickel. Biggest thing what I said is in super and trash, in boost mode, and if you go down to a low crawl. Total score ended up a 57. And one thing I want to point out is it tied the force core with 57. It is deeper than the core. Now what helped the core out versus the Fisher was them little meteorites. It gained a point on the meteorites versus the Fisher. The iron meteorite can hit it both in discrimination and all metal. As far as the recovery, pretty good, same. These things are damn close. Depth-wise, this has got the edge on the force core. Definitely got the edge. Separation is just horrendous with this. Very good with this Fisher. Now, like I said, it didn't score as high as the Tejon, but one thing with the Tejon, they got 2 points for the stony and 2 for the iron. They hit it in all modes. So there's 2 points right there alone for that. But as far as depth, Tejon did seem to hook up about the same as the Fisher did. I would say where the Fisher outdid the Tejon, of course, was in that iron-infested stuff and separation. So in a nutshell, a guy gets to learn this detector. I think you're going to have pretty good luck with it. So I'm pretty impressed with it. It's all around a pretty good detector. One thing though with it is you do got to swap your modes. go in somewhere that's trashy and hit it, and then maybe go into a deep mode or something else, but you got the capabilities there. I'll probably put another video on in depth on this detector once I get to learn it even better. So plan on seeing that. So there you go, the Fisher F75 Special Edition LTD, 57 points, right up there.